What's up, friends? Welcome to Drive Time with Smashby. I want to start this video off by saying thank you. This past weekend, for some reason, I received quite a few random messages from people. Some that I coach now, some that I used to coach, some that are friends who were sent links of my blog a while ago, some people I never met. Just people saying thank you for putting the blog together, the drive times, the issues and topics that I cover. So when I started this blog years ago, the goal was to try and find ways to add value. And when I hear people say thank you or that a post I made resonated with them or helped them out, that makes me really happy. So thanks. Another message I received this weekend was a request to talk about a specific issue that I think is important. But before I dive too far into it, let me say this is such a loaded topic to get into, and I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible. If there are people out there who watch this and want to continue the conversation or dive in a little bit deeper, feel free to reach out and let's do that. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to try and keep it as short and sweet as I can. The question was, how should I, as an athlete at a gym, respond to a situation where potentially a coach gives me a cue that is wrong? So you're an athlete, the coach walks by and says blah, 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 and you know or you think or you feel that that was bad advice. I'm going to break this down into a couple of different scenarios. Number one is if that advice is physically unsafe, makes you feel unsafe, or the people around you feel unsafe, I think it is your responsibility and privilege and right and all of the good things to respectfully decline the advice. Now, there's different ways to do that. One is to say, okay, I'll try, and then ignore the coach. The other is to say, in a respectful way, hopefully, that you appreciate the suggestion, but you think you'll try something else. And then in the immediate context of you feeling unsafe, you can say, I don't feel safe doing that, and move on. If it's not an issue of immediate safety for you or those around you, I don't think it's your job as a paying member at a business to coach or lecture or embarrass the person who is trying to instruct you. So if you're getting bad cues on a regular basis, my advice there would, hopefully you have a fairly decent relationship with the owner of the business, is go to them. And you can be anonymous and say, look, I just think it's important that you know this interaction or these interactions that I've been having lately. I don't necessarily agree with the cues that the coach is giving me. Just wanted to give you a heads up. The reason for that is, as gym owners, a lot of them don't coach as many classes as their head coach or their most frequently featured coach in classes. And even if they do coach a lot, no owner can be at the gym 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at least not for long. So if the owner's goal is to hire staff that's there to add value and make people better and keep people safe, but they're not there to experience this firsthand, they may never know. So it's one of those things where you're empowering the owner or the head coach or the director of training or whoever it is by providing them that feedback in a very productive way and say, look, I'm not necessarily criticizing the coach as a person, but I think you should know about something that's been going on. The other ways that you can do it with the least resistance, paths of least resistance, is try and go to different classes, right? Different times of the day where that coach won't be there. I don't think that's fair because then you're inconveniencing yourself potentially. Or D, the worst case scenario, the most control you have over your scenario is to leave the gym. If there's no way to avoid that coach, you don't feel comfortable bringing it up to his or her boss, and you don't see the situation getting any better, I think you need to be in a place where you feel safe. It's going to be hard to just kind of ignore the cues of people who are potentially seeing you 3 to 5 times a week, all day, every day, if it's going to make you anxious or feel unsafe. So got to look out for number one in that context. So I hope that helps. The number one, the easiest way, obviously, is you have a good rapport with that person, the coach who's giving you the bad cues, to pull them aside and have a respectful conversation and say, hey, you suggested this, just wanted to talk through it a little bit more, let you know about my mobility issues and what have you. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, going to the owner or the head coach or whoever it is and having that conversation with them. And then the third solution is to get out of Dodge. Either leave that class time, those days that the coach is there, or leave the gym. What do you think? What would you do in that situation? I'd love to hear. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.